Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that is literally breaking and remaking a global industry right before our very eyes. We're talking about the AI text-to-video generation revolution. And look, this isn't just some minor software update, it's a massive, seismic shift. It's completely shattering traditional filmmaking barriers and fundamentally redefining exactly who gets to tell stories on screen. If you've been following tech or entertainment lately, you already know this is the absolute frontier. So let's just jump right into the source material and see exactly what's going on.
You know, the absolute heart of this whole disruption really comes down to one single thing: budgets. On one side, you have the traditional barrier to entry for a Hollywood feature film. We're talking tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. But on the flip side, based on current projections from leaders in the AI space, the cost to generate a feature-length film using AI tools is a couple of $1,000s. Seriously. We are taking something that used to require massive corporate backing and dropping the price tag down to basically the cost of a used laptop. This magnitude of disruption changes literally everything about how movies are made, and even more importantly, who actually gets to make them.
So, here's our roadmap for today. We'll be breaking down the AI Hollywood revolution, looking at how the big studios are embracing the machine, exploring the massive shift towards solo creators, analyzing the true costs of all this, and finally peeking into the future of storytelling.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the AI Hollywood revolution.
Imagine having this brilliant cinematic idea in your head, right? But instead of needing to hire a massive crew and secure funding, you just type it out and literally watch it come to life. That is the core concept of text-to-video creation. As our sources point out, we now have AI foundation models that genuinely understand video. And the interface? It's incredibly simple. You just type a description into a prompt box. For instance, as one AI CEO noted, you could just type a giant monster walking in the street of New York. The AI processes that text and almost instantly generates a highly realistic video clip of exactly that happening. It completely removes the need for cameras, lighting rigs, CGI teams, locations, the whole shebang. It takes this massive technical barrier and reduces it to just a few keystrokes.
Moving right along to Section 2, studios embrace the machine.
Now, the legacy giants aren't just sitting by watching this happen. They are actively feeding this technology. We're seeing this vividly right now with the recent partnership between entertainment giant Lionsgate and the artificial intelligence company Runway. Basically, Lionsgate is allowing a new AI model to be trained directly on their massive, extensive film and TV archive. And the goal for the studio here is pretty straightforward. They want to drastically reduce their own exorbitant production costs by bringing AI directly into their workflow. So they're feeding their past successes right into the machine to streamline their future output.
But you know, this studio-level embrace definitely brings up some massive questions. Samir Manal, who is a filmmaker and the CEO of the AI creative company One Day, asks, what happens to the future of those jobs? What is our relationship with these intelligent machines? And Samir is highlighting a very real tension here. Think about it. When a studio like Lionsgate uses its back catalog to train an AI, what happens to the people who devoted their entire lives to the specific crafts that built that catalog in the first place? Will they be compensated? We've really never encountered intelligent machines quite like this before, and it is forcing a massive industry-wide reevaluation of the human role in film production.
Which brings us to Section 3, the solo creator shift.
$150 million. Just let that number sink in for a second. That is the amount of investment raised by a generative AI-powered video startup called Pika Labs. And what's even more fascinating about this, the CEO, Demi Go, is a 26-year-old Stanford University dropout. It's pretty wild to think about a 26-year-old commanding that kind of capital, especially when you compare it to legacy studio executives who have been in the business for decades. But the sheer volume of money flowing into these AI tools proves that massive financial backing is aggressively fueling the democratization of video creation. The tech world is basically betting hundreds of millions of dollars that the future of video won't just belong to traditional studios.
And Demi Guo has a very specific vision for how all this capital is going to be used. She argues that AI is not replacing creators, but rather it's really about helping or serving creators so that they can simply create more content. She views the traditional filmmaking process as, well, overly complicated. There's this massive gap between the human's creative idea and the actual execution of a finished video. In her view, AI serves as the perfect tool to bridge that gap. It handles the manual labor so the human can focus entirely on the creative vision and directing the final outcome.
So what does this actually look like in practice? Well, AI filmmaker PJ Echitoro used a really simple three-step workflow to produce an incredibly photorealistic trailer based on the famous Studio Ghibli film, Princess Mononoke. Here's what he did. Step 1, he wrote out text descriptions for the different shots. Step 2, he generated base images using the AI tool Midjourney. And Step 3, he animated those images using programs like Kling and Runway. He compiled the whole thing together, and the total cost? Just a couple $100. What used to take a studio of animators months to do took one solo creator with a few software subscriptions a tiny fraction of the time and budget.
Let's look at Section 4, the true cost of AI.
Now, we do have to contrast all that tech optimism directly with the deep concerns of industry veterans. Samir Malal articulates this point beautifully. He says, I think the big concern with creatives is the process. By going through the process, we learn what it is, we shape it, we bring our taste, we bring our vision. His concern is that by instantly generating a final product straight from a text prompt, we are entirely bypassing the essential human journey of artistic creation. For a lot of artists, the art isn't just the final video, right? It's the discovery that happens while you're holding the camera, lighting the set, and working intimately with the actors.
And film industry workers are definitely sounding the alarm. They aren't just worried, they are actively fighting. They're pushing back against the unregulated use of AI that threatens to replace original human creativity. They're demanding transparency and compensation when AI models are trained on previous copyrighted datasets that are owned by artists. And above all, they are terrified of the profound threat to long-standing industry jobs. These are complex, highly organized efforts demanding some form of ethical guardrails in a fast-moving and, frankly, largely unchecked technological landscape.
But, this friction looks incredibly different depending on where you're standing. For a solo creator like PJ Azuchiro, the traditional system is deeply flawed. He spent 20 years in what he calls the Hollywood grind, overworked, underpaid, facing near bankruptcy, and all for maybe a 1% chance of actually getting his own stories made. I mean, people literally spend decades running coffee just hoping to one day direct a single scene. Now contrast that with AI democratization. Suddenly, anyone with a vision can completely bypass those gatekeepers and instantly get studio-level tools right into their hands. For creators who have been locked out of the traditional Hollywood ladder for years, this shift away from studio-led filmmaking to individual creator-driven models feels like absolute liberation.
Which leads us into our final segment, Section 5, the future of storytelling.
PJ Azuchiro actually offers a brilliant historical analogy here. He compares the current panic around AI to the disruption painters felt way back when photography was first invented. At the time, painters felt photography was cheating, or that it was just too easy, just pressing a button. But ultimately, photography didn't destroy visual art. It democratized the process and actually made the world better for it. It became its own deeply respected art form. AI video is highly disruptive and threatening right now, for sure, but the historical trend really suggests it will ultimately democratize the narrative art form for a massive new wave of storytellers.
And we can actually map out this exact chronological progression. Think back to 2004 and 2005. Video platforms like YouTube launched, totally taking distribution power away from the massive networks. Then, in the present day, digital cameras and now AI have entirely democratized production quality. Currently, about 80% of all content on the internet is user-generated. So following this trend, the future points to a massive shift where user-generated content doesn't just rival studio output in volume, but actually rivals studio-produced narrative films in quality. The primary source of our narrative content is going to shift directly into the hands of independent creators.
Which leaves us with this final, incredibly provocative question. As this technological revolution continues to accelerate, will a single solo creator build the next billion-dollar entertainment franchise within the next 10 years? It might sound impossible, but considering we've gone from $100 million budgets to simply typing "monster in New York" on a laptop for a few dollars, it might just be inevitable. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll catch you next time.